Hello everyone, good to see you again. I'm back with another little recording. So today I thought, let's just go over the fabulous and wonderful races of Warhammer 2. And obviously there'll be some that are still included in 3. Bruh. But let's do it anyway. Okay? Right, so here we are, everyone. I'm getting emotional already. We're here, and I just thought, let's just go over. Actually, no, not War Empires. What am I doing? Let's go over the Eye of the Vortex, as it probably encapsulates all the new factions that got added in Total War Warhammer 2, and we're seeing some old world races in 3 anyway, like Carl, and Sylvania, and probably some others, but we'll digress on that one. So obviously we've got the Elves, the
Techless.
It is
flipping high hairs of the kingdom and their little donut. Apart from Imric, unfortunately, Imric's just been left alone, and Aleph and Al, to be fair. But yeah, I don't know about the Elves. The High Elves were just like this race that seemed to be good at almost everything. So in a way, I didn't enjoy them too much. But the campaigns I played with them, I think I played Nalario, Tharion, and I tried an Imric, but I gave up with that one in the end. I think Imric was a challenge. Aleth Anar is also a challenge. But any of the other one, oh, and Teclis obviously is a very challenging one. If you pick Tyrion, Alariel, or Altharion, you're just kind of on the donut anyway, so you're just so safe. And then you can just build up, get trade agreements, confederate, la 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 la. And then you just kind of do what you want, I suppose. It just seems they're very like beginner friendly, shall we say, apart from obviously Aleth, Teclis, and Imric. So Elves, not my most favourite one from 2. Not my most favourite. But Lizard Men, ho 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 ho. My boy, my thick boy. Yeah. I never played Lord Mazdamundi actually. I played Krokgar, I played with Nakai, I played with Gorok. Unfortunately, I never got around to doing like Tic-Tac-Toe, Tehenowin, or Oxyotl campaigns. Mainly because I like the big beefy boys. Nakai was an interesting experience. Just because, you know, he's got his weird horde mechanic, which might get reworked, I don't know, we'll see. But I love the Lizardman style, man. Just massive, like, hordes of infantry that are really strong, like the Soros anyway. Soros boys, fantastic. They're monsters. Also amazing. Completely love the monsters. Especially how they got ranged, kind of like artillery hybrid type thing that you can just send in if it does need to be. And yeah, they've got some really fun magic. They've got some really fun just dinosaur themed stuff, you know. It's just cool. They're just cool, man. They're just solid all round, I'd say. I think their only weak point is like archery and like gunpowder, but obviously they kind of just get rid of that by just having like really good in other areas, and of course they've got some of the most lords. In terms of difficulty though, Nakai's okay. On either Vortex, obviously easier. On War Empires, not so much because you have to start in the top right. But yeah, I think Gorok pretty easy. Krokgar's kind of a little different. He starts at the bottom right, usually, so he's sort of like half and half. I'd have to go across the desert to get to your lizardmen brethren. So, and obviously on this map he starts bottom right again, away from his friends, but he also starts near Tic-Tac-Toe and some other minor lizardman factions, I believe. But yeah, I never got around to playing Oxyotl just because I wasn't a massive fan of the last DLC, because, I don't know, I just never got around to it. Anyway, moving on from the big old Lizzie boys, let's go to the Edge boys. I will be honest, I have a heavy bias against Dark Elves. I like certain aspects and aesthetics of them, but I also hate them gameplay wise, because they just, fighting them's just a pain. That's all I'll say. I tried a Marathi campaign, that didn't go well. And then I did a Malice Darkblade campaign, and I actually completed, that's the only one I've completed on the Dark Elf. Just because he starts away from the top left of the map, and I'm not a massive fan of the top left of the map. I find it to be quite a hellscape. So if I can avoid it, I'll play like Lustria. I do play Sisters of Twilight, but they start kind of in the middle area. And just like anyone that's from the old world, pretty much it just starts away from it. So, yeah, Malice, fun. He was fun campaign. I liked his sort of uniqueness and stuff. And I played a little bit of Rakarth recently in a co-op campaign. He seems fun. The ability to like recruit monsters and stuff just on the fly. Definitely seems like a fun Dark Elf character. Yeah, and he starts at like the top right, so it's kind of like a hellscape area where he has to deal with the Order Tide and Mortal Empires and stuff. But yeah, never played Malekith, never played Crone, never played Lokir, but I know they're probably similar. I think Lokir I'd enjoy just because he starts away from everyone over here, so I think I'd like him somewhat. Although he is in Austria, so. But yeah, not really a massive fan of Dark Elves, but I did enjoy my Darkblade campaign, and they do have some fun stuff in their mechanics that I do enjoy. Like the Black Arcs are quite nice. I don't like how they have this loyalty system, and then they have the slaves thing, which I'm still confused on. But yeah, they're okay. They're okay. They will not be missed. Alright, so the Skaven. The rats. The rats. We are the rats. Here they are. I haven't really played a lot of the other ones. I've only really played with Ikit, Thor, and I haven't even played with Snitch, to be honest. But Ikit, insanely fun. Thor I enjoyed because it made the front line a lot more beefier and a bit more reliable. I think Skaven were the first race I picked up, and obviously they got way better with Ikit's update with the Warp Block Jezals and Rattling Guns, which are like a must, and I like the Doom Flares a lot, I really do. They're just like crazy. And he just brings all sorts, and he's just a fun campaign. I mean, nukes, just the workshop that you get to upgrade things. So fun. So fun. So fun. But yeah, I played Ikit, played with Throt, haven't really played with Tretch, Snitch, Skrulk, or Queek. I played a little bit of Queek in one campaign, but that was a very short-lived campaign. I think I'd enjoy them. It's just, I seem to suffer late game with Skaven, because I don't know whether to keep colonizing or to whatever, because the food mechanic tends to backfire quite badly with me anyway. So love the Skaven in a way, even though they are rats. I would definitely say fighting them, obviously fighting them is horrible to fight, horrible, but playing as them, pretty fun. Anyway, moving on from the rats, we now have the pirates. And honestly, another one of my most favourite factions. I've played with Luther, I've played with Count. I don't really play with these two just because they're not... They can't compete. They can't compete with these two. Can they really? In my opinion. I mean, Noctilus gets such a good army. Luther has a okay army, but like he's just fun to play as. I think just with the charismatic sort of side. I mean, her thing with like having the humans in the army is just kind of interesting, but I don't like her mount. I go off on legendary lords. I usually a big factor that kind of goes into each ranking for me is mounts. And if they don't have a mount, that's immediately like an for me. And I know she has a mount, I think, but she's just got like a crab, which you can get with like standard legend like lords anyway. So I mean, he can't compete with Noctilus. I mean, look at him. Look at him. He can be on a Necrofex. That is just insane enough to just. That's just like 100% warrant to just have him as a lord. So, you know. It is what it is. Either way, insanely fun. The recruit dead mechanic's so good. The vampiric corruption obviously helps you out. I so much prefer these guys to Sylvania, just because I love their range and how they play a lot more. I'm quite a range kind of guy, and I like their monsters too. So yeah, I like them. I like them a lot. Oh boy. Tomb Kings. Okay, I kind of have a love-hate relationship with Tomb Kings. I don't know. I don't like their limit to things. I never liked that with factions, like how they or lords, where they limit, like with the Beastmen, what they did, as an example. They limit how many things you can have, like unit-wise. Like you can't just recruit so and so and that. And I can kind of understand it because it stops them being ridiculously broken, being able to like recruit a load of scorpions and say like turn 10 or something. But at the same time, it's just I don't like being limited with what I can and can't do with my armies and so forth. I did play through a Khemri campaign. I tried playing with High Queen Kaheli once, and it didn't go well. I didn't really want to try the other two just because I know one starts really far away and that's kind of not good anyway. And the other dude I didn't know because he had like vampire units in there. It looked interesting. I probably would have played him at some point, but nah, I just went with Khemri. Completed it all the way through with the Khemri campaign. Yeah. I like their constructs. Their constructs are amazing, don't get me wrong. But it's just their early game. I hate it. I hate it so much. And luckily, obviously, Cetra starts with the construct, the War Sphinx, so that's a good plus. And he has a lot of good things. But yeah. I'll just leave them as they is. I mean, I'm going to kind of like that 3 will have it more up north, so there's going to be not really many deserts and stuff, so yeah. Moving on to Marcus Wolfhard, the only Empire boy on the Eye of the Vortex kind of map. I liked him. It was hard. It's a difficult campaign if you're not like ready for it and you don't have a good kind of game sense and all that. But I liked him a lot. I liked his little like kind of like almost a D&D or like a little kind of like adventure, kind of like, you know, like a fantasy themed like adventure type thing where like they get a party together and like just go off and kill things. Like he gets like there's like the witch hunter you can collect. There's the dwarf, the wood elf, the Bretonnian. I think that's it. And then obviously Marcus himself. Yeah, I think that's it. And then you can like specialize those heroes into different things. Like you can make the witch doctor either embrace his witch huntery side, or you can make him embrace his like in his own little like lore thing. his more doctor kind of route, which makes him better at replenishment and stuff like that. So they really kind of went into depth with the lore of like each of these little like heroes and characters you kind of pick up along the way, which I liked a lot. I like it really a lot. And the new units were kind of but I kind of liked the fact that you get reinforcements from like home to like bolster your army. I liked it, but also hate it. The whole hostile action thing really sucks, because like you could just be trying to like expand and then you just get a lizardmen 20 stack just appear in the middle of nowhere. You got no armies there to help get rid of it. So it's a bit of a annoying thing. The final battle's pretty cool as well. I like how all the heroes affected that as well. I like either bringing reinforcements and stuff like that, how you have to fight Nakai. Really like that. So, yeah, I really liked, Marcus Wolfhard. I might be just biased because I like Empire anyway, but yeah, I did enjoy it, even though it was really difficult. Right, moving on to the dwarfs. Thorax kind of only came in last minute, I suppose, because obviously they did the whole dwarf rework and made him a free legendary lord to be added into the Eye of the Vortex. So I didn't play a lot of him, to be honest, because I just kind of like, I played a bit, I tried to play, but obviously he starts in Lustria, which again, hellscape. So I tried playing him, I got to a point, and then I just kind of got screwed by a lot of things happening to me, so I kind of gave up. But dwarfs are okay. I could never get the nail on the dwarfs quite. Like, I know fighting them is like kind of an issue, but when it comes to actually playing as them, I just can't cohese well with them. I don't know why. Moving on the Grom. I did play a Grom campaign to completion, I think. Did I? No, I think that was Altharion's campaign I did. Yeah. Grom I played a tiny bit of on the Eye of the Vortex. I think I didn't play much though. I should have played more with him, but again, greenskins are my massive like forte. I know I'm doing a stream with them now, but that just kind of happened. I only played with them once, and now, and like second time very briefly with Grom, and this is my third time playing on the stream at the moment, technically. But yeah, I think Grom's okay. I've seen my friend play with him a lot, so I think he's an okay character. In terms of like, he'll be missed, I'm sure. But I don't have a lot to say, unfortunately, about Grom. I'm sorry. I'm really sorry. On to Rapans de Lyonnaise. I played very briefly, and I don't play Bretonnia at all, so I played really briefly with her just to see what she's like on Eye of the Vortex, because I know that's where she's come, like, kind of introduced and stuff, and I know she is on Mortal Empires. But yeah, I just couldn't get to grips, and again, I don't play Bretonnia, and I don't really like Bretonnia, so it might have been me just again being biased, but I tried playing her and I just could not get to grips with how all the mechanics work in Bretonnia. I really don't. And I like the crusading kind of vibe they have, but I don't know, it's just the way it is, I don't get it, and I'm just like, I don't have much to say on them, I'm afraid. Moving on to the sisters, however, I loved their campaign. I loved the sisters, and Mortal Empires added Vortex, and oh my god. If I'm playing what else, I used to go to like maybe like Durthu or someone else, but now sisters, oh my god, oh my goodness, I cannot fathom how amazing they are. Like the ability they give to the Hawk Riders has made so many battles, like settlement battles that I've had to do, literally clutch because of that. Because the enemy army groups up and then they just volley into their back and it hits all the units at once, and it's just clutched. The fact that I say they're one of the more unique like ranged lords. They have their eagle at first and they can switch firing types. They're like a sort of a mobile eagle bolt thrower. And then they get a dragon as a mount when they do their like battle quest. That's just insane. I love it. They have so many fun like abilities, and like their Forge of Dave can give you more abilities and stuff, and you can just end up with like that's the Lord just having like the two little circles of augmented abilities just having loads on them. It's insane. And they buff the missile units of Wood Elves, which again is just good. And they also have some nice Stag Knights as a starting unit. So yeah, they're just really, 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 really fun in my opinion. Again, it might be a bias thing, but I will miss them. I will miss them. Thorax. Again, I'm really sorry. Okay, listen. I didn't play a lot of his campaign. I played a very small amount, and I just could not get to grips with all the mechanics because it was a bit overwhelming, and I just couldn't understand it too well. I didn't look at any guides or anything. I was trying to like figure it out for myself, and I just didn't know. I didn't get it. And again, the rework obviously made them a lot better. The Beastmen as a faction added some new units that helped buff up their roster and so forth, but they added the whole limit thing, which I was just like, oh, no. But I haven't played with the Beastmen a lot, and I haven't played with Thorax much. I thought he'd be fun because he's like a big beefy boy, but he's fun to watch and to like send into a group of enemies, but the army and stuff I just couldn't get to grips with, man. I'm sorry, but yeah, he's okay. I'm sure he's fine with like people that know what they're doing, but I just couldn't. So all fairness, by the way, all fairness to anyone who plays these factions that I'm not particularly fond of, because I can't, just because I'm not that good with them, if that makes sense. Like, I don't hate them. I love all these factions kind of like in a general sense, because they're Warhammer, and I love all Warhammer factions, 40k and fantasy. They're all so intriguing, and they're all fun, and they're just, you know, but this is just from me looking at gameplay and just like what I've played and experienced. So I mean, I know I haven't played everything, but again, I've at least played like one of each faction to try and get a general vibe. Obviously, you don't have a lot of choice with the end factions here, but at least they've managed to somewhat include a lot of the old world and new world sort of factions in one, by like at least adding one free like lord or DLC lord to like the factions. And excuse me. And I feel like now these rosters are so big. Like, look at how many legendary lords the High Elves, the Lizard Men, the Dark Elves, and Skaven have. Oof. They have a lot. So I'm hoping that we just get a lot more focus on the newer world factions in the new game. Obviously they're going to let Carl and all that be playable eventually, but for now I'm just excited to see a change of scenery and a change of environment and so forth. So yeah, I'm so looking forward to Game 3, man. Goodbye, my friends. I miss you. I don't know what I'm singing. I was gonna go goodbye, my lover, goodbye, my friend, but then I was just like, I'm gonna miss this game. Right. So then, as we have just concluded, that's it. We are done now. We are done. It's literally just around the corner now. It's literally so, like, let me just check my calendar. Yeah, it's literally it's just so close. It's so close. Oh, I'm so excited. I want to play Corn. I need to play Corn. I'm going to play Corn. You're going to see me stream Corn. I am so ready. I need it. All right. So anyway, I know this is kind of been a brief video. Ish. I don't know how it's going to turn out in editing and stuff, so we'll see. But one thing I would like to ask, if you've managed to watch this far, okay, I just want to ask, right, so I've got my camera set up here, my fellow viewers, my fellow guardsmen. all of the 100 first, which I thought is like a good camera setup, right? Obviously up there, you can't really see me that well. I've got to kind of extend myself, but I was just curious to see how it looks. I could probably like tilt it down a little bit too, but like that. There you go. That's better. But like that, or like the one over here. Again, I'll just for comparison's sake. There you go. Okay, so let me know. I want to know which is better, for streaming and for recording. But other than that, lads and lasses and all the things in between, I would like to wish you well. Please tune into the streams if you haven't already. And yeah, take care of yourselves out there. Alright guys, see you later. Peace and love. Goodbye.